Welcome to One Drink, a podcast where we talk about one topic over one drink. I am Matthew.
My name's Oliver.
And I finally have a friend on the show.
It's good to be here. We've been talking about this forever.
Took a while, but, you know, where there's a will, there's a way.
Hey, we got nothing better to do right now.
We are stuck at home, and that's how this occurred.
Yeah.
So, we have several funny stories amongst Oliver and I, but we have one where the golf tournament was here at Oak Hill, the professional golf tour, and for some reason, I thought Ollie would be a professional golfer for the night. Why? To be famous. And, well, it kind of worked.
It did kind of work. And it was spurred over a random conversation that we had one day. We were sitting at the bar at JB Quimby's, and he goes, dude, you been following the golf? He's like, the PGA's coming. I was like, no, man, I don't follow golf at all. I don't play golf. I'm awful when I do play golf. I'm in it for the beer and the golf carts, really. But Matt he goes, dude, you look like a golfer. And I was like, no. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you get a polo and pants. He was like, people would think you're a golfer.
Yeah. And with him being the pro golfer, because he's tall, handsome, a golfer. So, me being short, I was his agent. So I put on a suit, and I was pretending to be his agent.
You had the Bluetooth in, too.
Yes. So I looked professional. So we thought, we are professional. And then we went to, after he got all dressed up.
I went out and bought, specifically, I went to Dick's.
Yeah.
And I bought a golf shirt. I bought the polo. I had the khaki pants. I had on nice shoes. It was ridiculous. And I called him. I remember when I called you, I was like, dude, I just went to Dick's. I got a polo. He was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I thought we were doing this golf thing, dude. He was like, all right, I'll get my suit pressed.
So we get everything ready, and after, I think it was round 1 or round 2. I think it was a Friday night, actually.
Yeah, it was a Friday night.
So we go to the Pittsford pub where...
Pittsford pub here in the Rochester area is like the golfers bar. It's where golfers hang out. It's in a nicer part of town. It's a well-established bar.
And I believe a pro golfer owns it.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Which I didn't know at the time, but I guess that really doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it was funny, though, because with this whole idea, we didn't really have, a plan for it. We weren't necessarily trying to fool people. We were both single at the time. We weren't necessarily trying to pick up chicks. We weren't trying to do anything. It was just a stupid idea that we came up with that, well, for one, when we came up with it, neither one of us thought that we were actually going to go do it.
True.
Because, it's just ridiculous. And then we ended up telling a bunch of people about it, and they were like, oh, you're going to do this golf thing?
Yes, we are.
And we did.
So, we go up to the Pittsford pub, and as soon as we walk in, heads were turning.
And it was busy. And people were doing this.
Yeah. So as soon as he walked in, being tall, dressed to the T like a pro golfer, me in a suit and a Bluetooth, people were turning. And they were like, wow. And you could kind of see, it was like a movie, you could kind of see where they were just like, who's that? It's Oliver.
That's when the fear started hitting me, though. I was like, there's no way this is going to work. I just look like a douchebag in a polo.
So then we walk up to the bar, we get some drinks, and then we go out back to the patio to have a cigarette. And then that's when our 40 minutes of fame.
That's when it got real.
Yeah.
That's when it got real. So this guy comes up to me, and he goes, hey, man. He goes, did you play today? And I said, yeah. I said, it was a tough round, though. It was a tough round. He goes, oh, what'd you think about 17 or whatever he said? And I was like, man, the way that dog leg was, I was like, it got me, that creak over on the side, because I'd been studying the course for a whole entire day. He was like, I end up in that water every single time. And he pats me on the back like this, and he's like, hey, he flags his waitress down. He's like, hey, can we get a couple drinks for these guys? Or this guy had a tough round today. He had a tough round. He's still he's doing this, you know what I mean? He's so proud to be with a golfer. And I'm like, man, yep, just a douchebag in the polo.
and let alone he was a member at Oak Hill. So, and there was probably 20 to 30 members of Oak Hill there?
At least. So not only did this guy end up buying us a beer, which the waitress came over and gave it to us. So, you know, we're sitting there, we're drinking the beer, and, you know, he's over here, and, you know, he's, like, talking to his wife, he's pointing to us, and he's, like, you know, he's talking to his buddy, he's like, hey, this guy's over here. Next thing we know, like, this appetizer just shows up, like, at the high top table that we were just standing at, drinking these free beers. This appetizer shows up, and it's, like, I don't know, it was, like, shrimp or a crab cake or whatever it was. But we're, like... And then this guy, like, way over in the corner is like, and we're like,
hey,
thanks, man, thanks. And this continued for probably, a good hour or so. Yeah. We just kept getting beers and food, and it all went wrong.
Yes, that is when the smartphones were easy access to anything and everything.
There was people doing this.
Yep. So I nudge Oliver and I'm like, so there's a lot of people like on their phones scrolling, looking at you and scrolling, looking at you and scrolling.
It's bad.
So I was like, this can't be good. So we had our drinks, we had our free meal, we knew what it was like to be famous, getting free stuff.
It was awesome.
So I was like, we're gonna have one more cigarette. And we have to be out.
We have to go. We have to go. Because people were starting to catch on. You could tell. They were like looking at like a roster or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Of like all the golfers. And they're like, which guy is this? Which guy is this?
And
glad nobody asked the name either.
Oh, God. That would have been great.
It would have been a disaster.
But, so, the guy that bought us the beers originally, he was the first one to start the old smartphone trend. So we're halfway done with our cigarettes, and I see... He looks at his wife and he's like, I don't recognize this guy. So I was like, oh, shit.
It's when my panic from the beginning came rushing back. The beer was now gone and the panic was full back. Yep.
So we were gone. We just left.
Dipped.
And that was it.
Time to go.
I left a half beer. I think we ate most of the food because it was damn good.
We ate all the food.
We're at the Pittsford pub.
That's good.
And so... We get in the car and we couldn't stop laughing. So we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
And it was great.
But that never really satisfies it, though.
No.
Just accomplishing one thing. It's like, well, we got away with it at the Pittsford pub.
Oh, yeah.
The Golfers Bar in Rochester.
Yep.
Why can't we get away with it anywhere else? It's 10 o'clock on a Friday night. We still got a whole night to go. I'm a golfer. You're an agent. And we're famous.
Yeah.
Let's live it up.
And we were looking good, of course. And we're like, well, let's go to Taylor's. At the time, a famous nightclub in Pittsford where...
famous is a word.
Where all the other people go. And so, little did we know, we kept our act going into the to Taylor's.
And it worked there, too. Not quite with the prestige that we had at Pittsford Pub, but... People were way more gullible and friendly at Taylor's, though, too. Because we told them we were golfers, or I was a golfer, and, you know, he was my agent, and they were like, yeah, woo, it's awesome, let's buy some shots, let's do it. We're like, yeah, screw it, party like a golfer.
Man, it was great.
I don't know if golfers party, but I would party with a golfer if they partied like us.
Yeah. But then, two of the caddies for...
one of the Australian guys.
The Australian golfers was there. And they were pretty drunk.
Yeah.
But they recognized us, I guess, from Pittsford Pub or something, because they come up to us.
They had our number, too.
Oh,
they had our number. They knew. They saw right through it. They weren't fooled one little bit.
No.
Not one bit were they fooled.
So they go, hey, we know that you guys are pretending to be golfers. And we had our other friend with us saying that he was our caddy, but...
He's a terrible caddy.
He didn't really fit the part as best as what we were going with, but these guys called us out, and we were just like, that was great for us because, you know, our goal was to, you know, be him, a pro golfer, and we got recognized twice.
Yep.
So, after that, I think we laughed, and that was pretty much it for our.
We stopped at a couple more little bars, but it didn't have quite the appeal or the effect that the first couple bars did. But so we ended up going back to Quimby's.
Oh yeah.
After that to cap the night off, and there was a ton of people there, a bunch of our friends, a bunch of regulars that we know. And like we come walking in, and they're like, "Oh, so did you bomb? Did you fail? Was it awful?" And we were like, "No way, man!
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yep.
It was wicked."
And everyone was like, "Man, I didn't think you guys could pull it off." And I was like, "Why would you even say that?"
We had to try.
And we tried.
We are triers.
That's what we are.
We are triers. That's always been like our slogan, our catchphrase as friends. Is we've done a lot of stupid shit.
Yes.
Throughout the course of our friendship. Haven't really accomplished much, but I'll be damned if we haven't tried.
Always. If you don't try, I mean, you're going to get nowhere. So yeah, that's our funny story of being famous for an hour. And it was great. Well, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, a couple hours, yeah.
We'll just say
we
one
rode
night.
that high, yeah, until those Australian caddies came in and blew our spot up.
Yeah.
But they were actually pretty cool. We ended up drinking with them for a while.
They were cool, and it all worked out. It's funny, too, because the PGA is coming back to Oak Hill in 2023. What do you think?
Might have to reprise it.
Could
man.
we do another
I think
golf?
absolutely we could do it. But I'll tell you what we're gonna do this time is somebody's gonna wear a camera, and we're gonna go live on this show and follow the whole thing around.
Yes.
And then you can tune in and see it live.
Oh yeah, and I believe we're gonna make a fake page.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So that way, we're gonna get on the golf course to golf.
Yeah.
Well, he is. I'm not.
Nobody at Oak Hill wants me to golf. Do you even have golf carts there? You can't ride it. You can't have a golf cart in real professional golf, can you?
I don't think so.
I don't think you can. That's bullshit.
So yeah, that's our one drink. Every show I want to do a funny, useless fact that will probably stick with you for the rest of your life.
Oh, good. So now we can all hate you for another reason.
Yes, indeed.
Perfect.
So, did you know you can't say happiness without saying penis? Well, that just ruined my day, I think.
I guess that's it for one drink.
Oh. So, oh God. That's our show for today. If you want to get shirts, go to godsandgladiators.com. In the code, type in one drink. I guess I'm famous now. Or we're famous.
One drink.
Yeah.
You're famous. I'm just.
You'll get a discount on your purchase. And until next time.
Peace.